TopMedTalk. Hi, I'm Monty Mythen, Editor-in-Chief of TopMedTalk, coming to you live from the British Museum in London for the inaugural Anaesthesia 2018, the international meeting of the Royal College of Anaesthetists. I'm here with co-hosts of TopMedTalk, Joff, Lacey and Desiree Chappell, who will introduce in greater detail in a moment. But I'm going to start with our regular guest, Professor Mike Grocott, who's Professor of Anaesthesia and Critical Care at the University of Southampton, a member of the College Council and one of the co-organisers of this meeting. Now, Dr. Chris Carey is the principal content organiser, but a couple of you helped Chris in that, Mike. Do you want to expand on that and then tell us more about the meeting?
Thanks, Monty. So Chris Carey and Ramana Aladi have really put this programme together, and I am very excited. This is the first anaesthesia meeting, so Anaesthesia 2018. It's the new flagship meeting of the Royal College of Anaesthetists, an international meeting. As you can see from the flavour of the programme, we've got speakers from around the globe and themes from around the globe, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully a hugely successful meeting this time and growing this meeting over the coming years.
Now, in the opening session this morning, there's a great emphasis on perioperative medicine, which we've referred to before. Now, I noticed the meeting's called Anaesthesia 2018 without any mention of that, which I applaud. So tell us a little bit more about that.
So, fascinating tension between anaesthesia, perioperative medicine. I mean, it's something, as you know, that's been discussed at College Council a number of times. I think the Royal College of Anaesthetists is very proud to be the Royal College of Anaesthetists. The fact that we are leading perioperative medicine nationally and arguably internationally is also something to be celebrated. But I get the feeling that the passion for changing the name is probably not there quite yet. Maybe it'll never come, maybe it will. We'll see.
So, and one of the debates that took place recently in Australia is we, quite unusually in the world, refer to ourselves as anaesthetists, as physician providers of anaesthesia, whereas much of the world, if you're a physician provider of anaesthesia, you call yourself an anaesthesiologist. It's an ologist like a cardiologist or a respirologist or whatever it is. Does that matter at all?
It doesn't feel to me at the moment like it's a live debate in the UK. Clearly it may wash over from our Australian colleagues, but it's not something I hear out and about at the moment. I think much more the perioperative medicine piece. I mean, so personally I'd love to see a Royal College of Anaesthesia and Perioperative Medicine. We have big organisations. The London School of Economics is the London School of Economics and Political Science, but nobody remembers that bit.
Okay, yeah. It's the London School of Economics, the LSE. They
exactly.
Done the LSE, it wouldn't work, would it? Joff, you're an anaesthetist and perioperative physician doing a fellowship in London and doing an innovation fellowship as well, one of our regular anchors for TopMedTalk. I know you're excited about the programme, but what in particular has caught your eye?
Well, I think I'll reiterate something from Mike. You know, this is the international meeting of the Royal College, and it's really living up to its name. It's got a stellar cast of speakers from around the globe, from Australia, Asia, Europe, and America, and that's a really exciting kind of list to look at. But I think in particular, what's caught my eye has been this quick-fire talks looking at, you know, the kind of hot topics that everyone kind of worries about, the hemorrhages, the can't intubate, can't oxygenate. So there's some nice list of world-class experts in those fields giving you the kind of hot topic headlines for those areas. So that should be a lot of fun.
Excellent. So thanks. That's really good to hear. So Desiree Chappell, regular anchor from TopMedTalk, and here as a visitor from the United States of America. So you're an anaesthetist from Kentucky, and so regular. Welcome to the British Museum. Welcome to the Royal College of Anaesthetists meeting.
Thank you. A testament to the globalization of the meeting here from Kentucky. Yeah, I am actually a nurse anaesthetist. And giving a different perspective to how we provide care in different ways and have different care providers, so that's kind of fun. Really looking forward to the international cast and hearing about the global perspective and some of the needs that we see that are issues in providing care for anesthesia in different types of settings. So I think the quick view is going to be really interesting. I'm also really excited to hear about perioperative medicine for trainees and talking about curriculum and things like that. and as well as some of the issues and topics that we're really interested in for TopMedTalk are brain health, which we're going to talk about that today, and hopefully on TopMedTalk have a little bit more discussion about fluid management and fluid therapy with Paul Miles and some other people and guests on the show.
Excellent. Now, we've had lots of discussions working together for over a year on TopMedTalk now about this perioperative medicine thing. I know in the USA when we discuss it, that jars a little bit because the medicine thing, which we regard as holistically the care of patients, in the USA is perceived a little bit as being all about physician providers, who are the minority providers, really.
Right. And it does it feels like an uphill battle sometimes when we're trying to get everyone working together to call it perioperative medicine. I really like to refer to it as perioperative care, and I know a lot of other providers, non-physician providers, prefer that as well. But I think it's one of those things that at this point for me, just talking about looking at the whole perioperative space instead of just specifically anesthesia or just specifically the surgeon, bringing everyone to the table is more important at this point.
Because I think that's one of the discussions we'll get into in the perioperative medicine session. We know there's a huge amount of work to be done, and we know that it's going to be, to a very large extent, the actual delivery of it will be non-physician providers. Now, there's a stated ambition to have a very significant growth of physician assistants in the UK, Mike. Where do you stand on that?
I think it is both inevitable and arguably desirable over time. It's clearly not going to happen overnight. It will take a substantial period of time to grow such a workforce in this country. But I actually think for the job of the physician anaesthetist, that will be enriched through having non-physician anaesthesia providers in the UK.
Because the actual delivery of, as far as I can see it, as opposed to the shared care planning process, the actual delivery of most of the perioperative medicine ambition, as we state it, perioperative care ambition, is delivered by allied health professionals. The delivery of it.
Yep. I mean, we're the frontline providers. We're the ones, executing orders and really caring for the patient in a different way that is different from physicians for sure. But I think that's where we need to move that conversation of physician extenders, what some people like to call them. I like to call them frontline providers.
So Joff, you're out there in one of the few pilots in our country of really having a fully embedded perioperative medicine fellowship and out there rounding on the wards, the floors on a daily basis. Is a team game? Is it?
Very much so in my experience, but I don't think that's necessarily across the board. I think there's still an issue with breaking down silos. The vilified silo system is very much still alive and work to be done. But that's a challenge. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but it's got to be done.
Now, three of us work regularly on intensive care units, critical care units, and Desiree used to work on a critical care unit, and I'm sure you go there on a regular basis still. Now, in that environment, we have no problem with this model at all. We're the minority people on the team. We're trying to steer the ship, but in reality, we've often got our hand off the tiller, and it's non-physician providers that do the vast majority of the work and lots of the decision-making. Mike?
Yeah, I think it's a good model. I think so. One of the things I reflect on, having been a passionate supporter of an independent specialty of intensive care for the first 20 years of my career, I'm now not entirely sure that was a good decision, because actually a lot of what we're doing in intensive care maps very well onto a lot of what's involved in perioperative medicine, and maybe we'd be ultimately better as one big specialty. I think that's unlikely to happen now in the United Kingdom, but I think it is really critical that the bonds remain close, because I think we have a lot to learn from each other.
Last thoughts on that, Joff, before we dive into the meeting in the moment it's going to start?
I think that's a very interesting comment from Mike. Yeah, I think that concept that maybe all the subspecializations and breakaways that we've evolved into in recent medical times may be going in the wrong direction, and kind of unifying the worlds again may be the way forward.
Desiree?
Well, I think bringing together the team and working as part of the team, trying to educate everyone involved, because I think what's happened specifically in the U.S. is that we've gotten away from teaching our nurses and those allied health providers to be able to make decisions, and so they're paralyzed whenever they're there in practice, and physicians are not able to be make good decisions all the time either. So I think working together and making sure that we have everyone on the same page in that perioperative space is
So
good.
we're going to dive in for the start. Desiree, you're picking up the first
Yes.
break meeting, so looking forward to hearing all about that. I know you've identified some of the stars to come and have a chat with you, so we'll be back to you all soon. So bye for now, live from the British Museum at Anaesthesia 2018, the international meeting of the Royal College of Anaesthetists. TopMedTalk.